Well, a recent article in the New Yorker is generating some buzz right now. The article tries to answer a question so many of us have asked: why are we seeing so many school shootings? The author Malcolm Gladwell compares school shootings to a slow motion riot, with each influencing the next. And he argues that people have different thresholds for violence. And with each shooting, people less prone to violence are actually more likely to become violent. Now, that's a theory on these shootings that we really haven't heard before. And here to help us make sense of some of that right now is Dr. Gregory Jantz. Thank you, as always, sir, for being here. Good to see you.
Good to be with you. This is a tough question to try to have a good answer for.
Yeah, especially, in the article, basically, it points to research on riots suggesting that people really aren't going to go smash up a window until other people start doing that. What's your take on that?
Well, what we do know, and as a counselor who's been involved in these situations and working even with folks who've been affected by this, we do see a pattern. We know that one shooting sets the stage for the next and the next. And there are folks out there who say, I'm going to do a better job, a greater job, and they do study the previous shooters.
Yeah, and
that is true.
And we've had research, especially this article goes all the way back to the Moses Lake shooting in the mid-90s. But there's certainly a lot more research to go on that we've had here. But it also talks about, this is, people talk about the need for gun control, better treatment of mental illness. But this kind of changes the conversation a little bit.
Well, it does, but we need to remember a person who's considering this is going to fit in the category of mental illness. So you may look at this, and Gladwell has an interesting theory here, but we need to go from the premise. If you're even considering violence, and maybe you've been a nonviolent person, there's still something wrong in the mental health department. We've got to look at that. So there are those folks who maybe they have had no violent history, they're learning from this, and now they will engage, because of mental illness, in a violent act.
The article also basically says that there are not most people in the world who are deeply disturbed who are going to commit these shootings, or willing to commit these, but basically just kind of more numb to it right now. Is that kind of the case, or what do you make of that?
Well, I think we remember what President Obama said, where basically in the last shooting that this was almost routine. We can never allow it to be routine. And so when we look at it that way, we need to look at, okay, this is not routine, this is never okay, and we've got to get to the heart of the matter here. And it is ultimately mental illness. There is something that will drive a person to do these behaviors.
More research, and you know what, for the takeaway here for parents, what do you say to parents? You're a father here.
I'm a father as well.
Yeah,
we're always going to talk about this. We're going to talk about when these things happen, how they're feeling, how it's affecting them. Remember, always let the kids ask the questions. Sometimes kids will not say really what they're thinking, and they're afraid to go to school, and it's going to come out in other ways. So we want to make it a safe discussion, emotionally safe.
And kids always have a way of letting you know a little bit ahead of time what is really going on inside the classroom, too.
And we need to be alert to that.
And alert to those type of things as well.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Gregory Jantz, as always, thank you so much for being here.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
All right, good to be talking about this conversation today as we do.